everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Brielle, aka the Singing Naturalista, and today, what we doing today? I don't know, but let's get into it. What's up, y'all? So yeah, I'm doing a stretch braid out because I didn't wash my hair, so I'm just gonna just been plaiting. But that's not really the reason why I wanted to make this video. I want to make this video because I want to talk about friends. And you know what's cray? Yesterday was National Best Friend Day. And I was like, how perfect, because I was getting ready to talk about friends or whatever, you know? Anyways, so this is all I'm doing. I put a little bit of my cream, and then a little bit of Cloud 11 here, and then a little bit of my edge control, and bazam. Here you go. So, yes, National Best Friend Day was yesterday. And y'all hear that? Jesus. And I wanted to talk a little bit about friends. You know, do y'all remember, I don't know if y'all remember, that Tyler Perry play where he was comparing friendship relationships to a tree? Well, you know, I kind of agree with that, and I want to take it a step further. That parallel is very accurate, you know, comparing a friendship to a tree, because you have some friends that are meant to be leaves. And disclaimer, I am not in no way, shape, or form talking about anybody, but if the shoe fits, put it on your left foot. Anyways, so I think that, okay, so you have some friends that are leaves that are only meant to be there for a season. So, you know, like when spring and they blossom, and then summer, they're nice and green. Then fall, they start to wither away, and winter, they're gone. So, you know, you have some friendships that are like that. And then you have some that are branches, and you got to be careful about branches. It's like, even though they may seem sturdy and they may seem strong, just like those leaves, they can also in the wintertime fall off, or in the fall fall off. So you have to be careful about those two, and you have to know when to let those go. You have to know when the winter season is. You have to know when the fall season is. You have to, and that comes with a lot of discernment. That comes with a lot of discernment in talking to God. And then with the branches and the leaves, with branches and leaves, when winter time comes and when winter's over and springtime comes, you don't see trees going back and putting those dead things back on them. No, they create new ones. Like, don't go back to those dead leaves and dead branches and put them back on your flourishing tree, because that's going to damage your tree. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when God removes people from our situation, we try everything in our power to get them back. Or, well, God, I just feel like I need to do more. I feel like I need to do this. I feel like I need to do that. And that's me. That is me all the way. I am a people pleaser. And sometimes I overcompensate, and I'm like, well, God, I just need to, you know, I feel like I need to explain myself to people and, you know, try to win them back or stuff like that, when some people don't deserve my heart, you know. And that comes with protecting and discerning and guarding your heart. So that's, you know, that's the branches and the leaves. You got to know when the winter time is. You got to know when the winter season is, and you got to leave it, and you have to keep flourishing, you know, because springtime will come. And also with the leaves and branches, I ain't got to the roots yet, but I'm gonna get to them. With the leaves and branches, you got to be careful you don't want to grow the same leaves and the same branches. Hear me out. So you don't want to, in the springtime, have the same type of people around you. People can come and they may seem different, but they're the same type of person. You're attracting the same type of person. So that's another thing. Like, you have to know when, you have to make sure and know who's around you at all times. And sometimes we have to reevaluate ourselves because we keep attracting the same type of people, but you think it's different. You think it's just because it's springtime and my leaves are back and my branches are back, but they're the same type of people, and God keeps sending the winter season to cut them off, but you keep bringing new people. They have different faces, but the same personality, different faces, but the same character traits, different leaves, different flowers, different branches, but the same character traits, and they keep sending you through the same thing. So you have to be careful and discern, and sometimes you got to check yourself. So now that we're done talking about the branches and the leaves, let's talk about the roots. The roots are the anchor. The roots are those friends that are roots, have been there through it all. They stuck out through it with everything. And one thing about roots is if you don't water them, then your whole tree dies. If you don't cultivate them, then your whole tree dies. So what I mean by that is, with those roots, yeah, they're always going to be there, and yeah, that's my best friend, she gonna always be there, but make sure that you check on them, make sure that you cultivate that friendship, and also with friendships and it being a tree, make sure you're planting good seeds for your roots to grow. Because if you plant bad seeds or bad friendships, or if your friendship is rooted out of gossiping, if your friendship is rooted out of talking bad to people, if that's your friendship, then that's something that you need to reevaluate. Because if you plant that bad seed, then bad roots will grow, and then you will have a whole bad tree. Talking about roots and friendships, there's one friendship in particular. There's a certain group of women that I have around me that are like my absolute best friends in the entire world. Malia, Rudy, Nikki. These are the ones that, I've come to when they were there when I was going through everything. They were there when I was going through divorce. They were there when I was coming back from Germany. Like, they have been there since. And they've always, 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 always stuck with me throughout it all. They were there for my wedding. They were there for my divorce, And one thing they have taught me is, they to pray for one another. And that's another thing of cultivating, the roots, is praying for one another. I pray for them constantly. I war over them constantly. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about them, and I, sometimes what's good about our friendships is that I don't have to talk to them daily, but I know that we're good. Like, I can go a few weeks without talking to them, and I'd be like, hey, love you, we're good. That's the type of friendships that we have. We've set that rapport where we know that without a shadow of a doubt, that sisterhood, that sisterly bond is never going to go anywhere. And so it's I love them so much. And another good thing about them is they tell me when my ish stinks. And I do the same for them. They tell me when I need to check myself. They be like, Brielle, no, you do not need to be talking to him. Brielle, no, you do not need to be doing that. But the difference between them and maybe some of my leaves is that they tell me that my ish stinks, but they show me how to work through it, and they'll pray me through it. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell me, oh, Brielle, you don't need to be doing that, but this is how we can help you through it. You know, this is how you can get through it. Let me pray you through that. Let me love you through that. Sometimes they let me go through this stuff and I don't be listening. Sometimes I put my own self through stuff and they tell me, Braille, you don't need to be doing that. And I'm like, anyways, I'm going to do what I do. And then stuff happens and then they're like, they don't say I told you so when they should. And then they're like, all right, now let's move forward. And then, and I do the same for them. It's never a one-sided thing, because constantly giving giving advice, that's tiring. And, I never want them to become tired. So like whenever they need advice, they come to me. Malia and our friendship is very special because our friendship has taught me how to be a better Christian. I met Malia, just my longest friendship. I met her when I was in 8th grade. She was in 9th grade. She was going to 9th grade. I was going to 8th grade. And we were both in marching band. They let middle schoolers be in high school marching band back then. And so I would take the bus over, and then I would, she was a mellophone and I played trumpet, and those are kind of close and similar instruments. So, we'd be in the brass section. So she kind of took care of me and became like my big sister, and she's been my big sister ever since. And I've been her little sister. And back then, she wore the head wraps to school because she's a part of the Nation of Islam. She's Muslim. And I didn't understand that back then, but I was always willing to learn and accept. And so she taught me things about her religion. And one thing I can say about our friendship that I admire is that we've never, ever had a disagreement about religion. Never, ever. Me being a Christian and her being Muslim, we've never in all of our time of friendship ever had a argument about religion. We've never had a argument about, well, my God says this, my Bible says this. Never, ever. And it's because we respect each other as women and we respect each other as individuals. And I love her with the fierceness. I love all my friends, but, with the fierceness. And I protect her. She's my sister. And our religions don't define who we are. We can come together and we can, have a conversation about religion. She can tell me, well, the Quran says this and this and this about your situation. And she also knows the Bible. Like, I know the Bible because not only do they learn the Bible in Muslim religion, some of her family is also Christian. So she know how it felt to be in the black church. So like whenever we do have conversations about religion, it's always how to relate it to one another. So she'll say, the Quran says this about this and this, and I'm like, yeah, that's what the Bible says too. And she always like, thank you so much, because that really helps me. And I think that, it's important for us as Christians to be accepting and willing of others because we can learn from each other. I've learned so much through her. She has so much wisdom and so much, I enjoy being around, people in the Nation of Islam because they protect their women. They are so respectful. It is such a beautiful thing. One time I went to their Savior's Day and I just saw all these beautiful African American people, beautiful black women, beautiful black strong men, and I just, I heard them speak and they were speaking and I could relate to what they were saying. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to convert to what they are, and I think that, that's something to be learned, that we don't have to be the same religion. We don't have to be the same sexual orientation. We don't have to be the same this or that. If we were all the same, that would be boring as hell. Sorry. That'd be boring. I think there's something to be learned from everybody. And I don't care who you are. I love you as a person. I love you as a person. I love you as for who you are, because you're all a child of God. We're all children of God. Sisterhood is so important. Sisterhood is so important. Being in a fellowship of women that aren't jealous of each other, that aren't envious of each other, that is so important. And in today's society, it's very important to have camaraderie with women, because we all go through the same things. We as women, like, we all go through the same things, whether we know it or not, whether we think it or not. We all go through it, and we just, sometimes I think that women, we just see each other as a threat. We see each other as, oh, well, I don't want her to steal my shine. Just put that aside. That's what the enemy wants. Because I believe that if we learn to be, especially if we learn to be in cahoots with one another, and we learn to empower each other instead of lessen each other, or, adjust each other's crown instead of trying to taking it off. You know what I'm saying? If we learn to do that, then I think this, women would be more powerful, empowered, and strong, because there are so many women out there that, tear each other down. But really, all they want is love. All they want is friendship. All they want is sisterhood. And I think that's important, guys. I think that's very important. So what was my whole point in saying all this? One, be careful who you associate with. Be careful who you call your best friend, because sometimes your best friends, or people that you have around you, don't have the best intentions for you. And sometimes, as Pastor Michael Todd says, they could be picking after your purpose. Sometimes they could be blocking you from the thing that God is trying to do for you. And two, cultivate your roots, or cultivate the friendships that that have been there for you. Cultivate the even family relationships, familiar relationships that are roots. Cultivate those. You know what I'm saying? And know, and have discernment, and know when to when the winter season is there, and know when the winter season is up. And when the winter season is over, don't try to pick up that stuff from the winter season and try to put it back on your tree. That's number 2. And number 3, learn to accept one another. Point blank period. Learn to accept one another. We all have something to learn from each other. We're all human, we all go through things, and we all just need to get along. So that is my video on friends. And I'm going to finish my hair. And then I'm going to come back and show you how it looks. And then I'll be right back. Okay, bye. Okay, guys, so this is the final result. Final results. And I kind of like them. I don't know. Alright guys, this is the final results of my stretched braid out. Hope you guys can see. This kind of shows my true length. So yeah, you know, I had to snip them edges. Now over time this week it will get, the humidity will hit it and it would get like puffy and stuff like that, but I love the frizz. Free to freaking frizz. I'm here for it. So yeah, that is the end of this video, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed my discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed the stretch braid out tutorial. If you'd like to hear more discussions like this, please let me know. Actually, if you want to hear more discussions like this, comment the red heart emoji. And if you want me to just shut up and do natural hair tutorials, comment the red broken heart emoji. I need to do more covers. I haven't done a cover in forever. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you have a blessed rest of your week. And as always, life may get hard, life may get tough, but best of all, man, life is lit. So continue to live your best life, sis and bro. See y'all.